I did my project on the film Rain Man, and it's about a self-centered Los Angeles car dealer named Charlie who's at war with his own life, and on top of everything that's happening to him, he finds out that the father that threw him out as a child has passed away. So Charlie gets a light of hope, thinking that he'll inherit his father's $3 million. But when he flies home to Cincinnati, he learns that he has a brother named Raymond in a mental institution with autism, and he got the $3 million instead of Charlie. But Charlie, being motivated by his father's money, ends up checking Raymond out of the facility and returns with him to Los Angeles as a threat to get the $3 million inheritance. But the brothers' cross-country trip ends up changing both of their lives when Raymond's constant nagging about 4 minutes till Wapner and his refusal to fly on any airline except Qantas drives Charlie insane, but also drives him out of his selfish world and into a cross-country trek of pure love and understanding that these two both have. The disorder displayed was autism, which is also known as autism spectrum disorder, and it refers to a range of conditions that are characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech and nonverbal communications, as well as by unique strengths and differences. We now know that there is not one autism, but many types caused by different combinations of genetic and environmental influences. So the term spectrum really reflects the wide variation in challenges and strengths possessed by each person with autism. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that autism's prevalence is 1 in 68 children in the United States, which includes 1 in 42 boys and 1 in 189 girls. The exact cause of ASD is currently unknown because it's such a complex condition, so it can result from genetic predisposition, which is natural tendency, environmental or even unknown factors. Most researchers believe that certain genes a child inherits from their parents could make them more vulnerable to developing ASD, since cases have been known to run in families, but no specific genes are linked to ASD, nor have they been identified, but it may be a presenting feature of some rare genetic syndromes, including Fragile X syndrome and Williams syndrome. But some researchers believe that a person born with a genetic vulnerability to ASD only develops the condition if they are exposed to a specific environmental trigger, like being born prematurely or being exposed in the womb to alcohol or a certain medication. No conclusive evidence, though, has been found linking pollution or maternal infections in pregnancy with an increased risk of ASD, which is one of the common misconceptions. Some conditions known, though, to be associated with ASD are muscular dystrophy, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, infantile spasms, neurofibromatosis, and the rare genetic conditions of Fragile X syndrome and Rett syndrome. Other common misconceptions about the causes of ASD are using antidepressants during pregnancy, the MMR vaccine, which contains mercury that is being used as a preservative in some vaccines, and the way a person has been brought up with their diet, such as eating gluten or dairy products. Researchers have been using molecular genetic studies to identify genes that make infants more susceptible to ASD. And a part of the brain that they are studying is the amygdala, which is underactive when people with autism and Asperger syndrome are trying to decode emotional facial expressions. Higher prenatal testosterone levels are associated with reduced social skills, but superior attention to detail in infants. So because autism and Asperger syndrome affect boys far more than girls, neuroscientists have really been driving research into fetal testosterone in order to examine its effects on brain development and postnatal behavior. So they found that fetal testosterone shapes brain development to alter an individual's cognitive profile by binding to androgen receptors in the brain, the amygdala being one region that is rich in such receptors. And higher prenatal testosterone levels are associated with reduced social skills, but superior attention to detail in infants. And now more than ever, autism and ASD are evident in early childhood, which is leading neuroscientists to pioneer new methods for diagnosing autism in children as young as 18 months. People who suffer with autism have a deeper and more meaningful emotional impact when it comes to everything. They feel embarrassed more easily than others and tend to get easily socially isolated, especially in large groups. They frequently get angry at themselves or others for a very small and simple matter that they over-exaggerate. It's easy for them to get quickly and abruptly uncomfortable in situations and become overwhelmed, therefore having a panic attack or essentially just freaking out in any social surrounding. They may not respond to their name by 12 months, which is a big sign that they could be suffering from ASD, nor do they really have a connection to any object, whereas infants that are girls might relate to a Barbie doll and see it and go over and hug it, or guys would play with cars and Legos, but kids with ASD don't connect to anything, even at the age of 14 months. It's very common for them up until that time as well to avoid eye contact and want to be alone, as well as having delayed speech and language skills. So a lot of these symptoms and physiological effects are very noticeable in conversations, and a big sign is whenever they start to give unrelated answers to questions, which is what Raymond did a lot in the film. When Charlie asked him, hey, do you want to go here to eat, or what do you want to watch, Raymond would start giving statistics that he knows in his head, or just things that were completely off topic that he really fixated himself on, which is another physiological effect, just having an obsessive interest in something that's really unrelated to everyone but the person suffering with ASD.
First base, who? The fellow playing first base for St. Louis, who? What are you asking me for?
What is this? Why is he doing that?
Who was on first?
Whenever he gets nervous, he does who's on first. You know, from Abbott and Costello?
Yeah, why?
Why? It's his way of dealing with you touching things. His books and stuff.
First.
So he memorized who's on first.
Yeah, that among other things.
Raymond. Ted Kluszewski.
Kozuski.
Kluszewski.
Kozuski. Ted Kozuski. Big clue, first base.
He played for
Of
Cincinnati.
course, he was traded for Fundy, 1957. Lifetime batting average, 298.
Great books he reads, huh?
Clue.
Reads and remembers whatever he gets his hands on.
Vern, V-E-R-N. Of course, these people are going to be here all day, Vern. This is an unannounced visit. Vern, this is definitely not a weekend visit, Vern.
He's getting anxious. It's okay, Ray.
Vern. V-E-R-N. This is an unannounced visit, Vern.
Put it back. He said not to touch the books.
Not to touch books.
You like Shakespeare, Ray?
I don't know.
Did you read all this?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Vern.
You read Macbeth?
I don't know, Vern.
You read Hamlet?
I don't know, Vern.
Read The Twelfth Night?
Stop it.
Yes.
Yes.
You read all these stories that are in this book, and you don't know if you read the book.
I don't know, V-E-R-N.
You don't know.
Maybe you better put it back.
You don't know. Okay, no, Ray, take it easy. I'm not gonna... I won't touch anything else, Ray.
It's okay, Ray. It's okay. Come on. My main man.
Yeah, Vern, my main man. Sometimes his wife comes down close.
Stop it.
Good morning. Coffee?
Yes, that'd be good.
Sally Gibbs, Sally. 461-0192.
How did you know my phone number?
How'd you know that?
She said read the telephone book last night. Gibbs, Sally. 461-0192.
He, remembers things, little things sometimes.
Very clever, boys. I'll be right back.
How'd you do that? How'd you do that?
I don't know.
You memorized the whole book?
No.
You start from the beginning?
Yeah.
How far'd you get?
G.
G?
G. God's sake. William Marshall. God's sake.
You memorized to G.
Yeah, G.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
G. Half a G.
That's good, Ray.
Yeah.
I like that.
The purpose of assessing an autistic person, or any person in general, is to confirm the diagnosis, seek an underlying cause, assess their strengths and weaknesses, family needs, mental and developmental impairments, and identify the resources to meet the needs. It's hard to test a person for ASD when there is no medical test, like a blood test, to diagnose the disorder, so doctors primarily look at the child's behavior and development to make a diagnosis. ASD can sometimes be detected at 18 months or even younger. By age 2, a diagnosis by an experienced professional can be considered very reliable. However, many children do not receive a final diagnosis until much older, and that delay means that children with ASD might not get the help that they need. Although they can be showing signs and symptoms of ASD, it's very particular to diagnose, and they can fall in any range of the spectrum, so it's common to...
Rain Man?
Yeah.
Let's play some cards. You want to hit? You don't want to hit where you got 18.
Want to hit.
Sir, you have 18.
You don't want to hit. He doesn't want to hit. Hit me.
Definitely want to hit.
Hitting 18.
He doesn't want to hit.
Hit me, hit me,
Don't,
hit me.
don't. You took my queen, Ray. I've got a 10. I needed that queen. I can't take your queen.
Sir, please don't touch the cards.
I need my own queen, Ray.
There's lots.
There's lots of it.
Lots and lots of it.
Hold on here. Hold on here for a second. I'm gonna double down.
Queen. Queen.
Raymond! You never touch the steering wheel when I'm driving. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Of course, I don't have my underwear.
What?
I'm definitely not wearing my underwear.
What are you talking about? I gave you a fresh pair of mine this morning.
Not my underwear.
I told you to go in the bathroom and put them on. Where are they?
Of course, they're in the pocket of my jacket.
Where?
Here. These are too tight.
I don't want them back, Ray.
These are not boxer shorts. Mine are boxer shorts.
What's the difference?
These are Hanes
Underwear is
32.
underwear, Ray.
These are Hanes 32. Oh, my boxer shorts have my name in it. It says Rain.
Well, all right. When we pass the store, we'll pick you up a pair of boxer shorts.
I got my boxer shorts in Kmart, Cincinnati.
I'm not going back to Cincinnati. We just don't even start with that.
400 Oak Street.
I'm not going back to Cincinnati. You don't have to go to Cincinnati to pick up boxer shorts.
That's Oak and Burnett in Cincinnati.
What did I say, Ray?
It's Kmart.
You hear me?
I think the actors who played Charlie and Raymond in the film did a good job of really getting into their character, especially not having the disease or obviously not knowing the situation and just acting it out. They really made it realistic and appealing for other people to relate to or get a sense of if they were to be put in that situation. And I think that Charlie's role, played by Tom Cruise, he did a good job. There wasn't much to it besides obviously like getting accustomed to his brother's new ways that he didn't know before, but the actor who played Raymond definitely underwent a lot of practice for the role. You could tell that those parts just fit him and he knew what he was doing, and he did his research on what someone with autism goes through and how to portray that in a film, and I think that's what made it really relatable and good to watch, because he was just so detailed with everything that he did, and he really portrayed the character the best that I think anyone could.